What's up, y'all? Today we are talking about the 5 signs they are sent from God. Excuse me, y'all, because I don't know if y'all hear it. They cutting outside. They cutting grass outside, so excuse me if y'all can hear that in the background. But yes, the 5 signs they are sent from God, y'all. We're going to talk about it today, man, because I think sometimes it's hard to understand, and I think sometimes people be saying small things that I don't truly believe is a good way of seeing if God is in them. Like, they go to church, like they read their Bible. You know, the enemies in church. You know what I'm saying? The Pharisees and the religious law leaders read their Bible. They were scholars, right? And they didn't even know who Jesus was. But we're going to talk about it today. 5 signs that I believe that you can tell that somebody is sent from God. And the first sign is going to be they are chasing God. That's right. You can actually see that this person is chasing God. What do I mean? Yes, they go to church. Yes, they read their Bible. Yes, they go to Bible study. Yes, they do all of these things. You literally see them chasing God. Yes, they part of ministries. Yes, they have Christian community. But you see that they have a heart for God. In this person's decisions, when they're making decisions, where they go, what they do, how they are, how they speak to someone, when they communicate to someone, how they respond to someone, how they react to someone, because it's not the traditional thing, y'all. It's about choosing God first. You see them chasing God. They have a heart for God. Like when you look at David, y'all, you see how many times David chooses God? Like before he made decisions, before he would even think about going after somebody, before he could have killed somebody, he would be talking to God. Did you see how much he cried out to God? Do you see how all of these things he went through with God? But he consistently kept relying on God. If you look in the book, if you look in Samuel, if you look in Kings, you will literally see David's heart for God. He was chasing God. Yes, he sinned, but he didn't live in his sin. So can you see that person chasing God? Yes, some of the surface level things might be church and Bible, but yes, are they going there? Are they doing that? Is it consistent? But do you actually also see it in their life, in their daily decisions? Do you see it in how they treat you? Do you see it in how they treat others? Can you see them chasing God? I think that is a number one thing that we should look at, y'all. Are they chasing God? Not only do they say they have a relationship with God, because somebody can say it, but do you see it? Right? Just like God, we knew who he was because he told us he was I am. But then we actually saw that he was God. We could see who he is. Right? Jesus needed us to see who he was. And a lot of times he didn't tell us who he was. I'm going to keep it real. When you look in the Bible, Jesus didn't really tell us who he was, but he wanted to see if we could see who he was. Did we notice that he was the Messiah? Did we notice that he was God's son by what he did, by choosing the Father first in his life? So can you see that this person is chasing God with all their heart, their decisions, with their life? Are they different? Right? When people would normally do all of these carnal and worldly things or think away or be away to people. And yes, they're human. They're not perfect. But do you see them being different? Are they holy? Are they set apart? When you look at other people's lives and then you look at their life, do you see them making different decisions? Do you see them not following the world? Do you see them choosing to love people when they don't have to? Because God is love. Right? Do you see them praying for people when they hurt them? Do you see them trying to forgive others even when they're mad? Do you see them apologizing? Do you see them choosing to walk in righteousness, to do the right thing more than less? Do you see them literally chasing God and doing the opposite of the world? Because we're not perfect. They're not going to always do the right thing, because you're probably going to be able to help them sometimes too, or other people. But even when that happens, are they able to be corrected? Can you point them back to God if something affected them in some type of way? Right? They're chasing God. Do you see that? That's one thing that we should ask. That is the first thing. Are they chasing God? The second sign, I'm going to say, this is basically 2 things. The second sign is they have integrity and they have good character. Well, Rudy, people have integrity and good character. But the devil cannot stay. So the devil, he presents things that are not true. How do you know this, Rudy? Did he not present the fruit to Adam and Eve as if it was God's fruit? He lied. But then after they bit into the fruit, they didn't actually receive what he said. They didn't get what he told them that they would get. He lied. He lied because they already had what he said that they would get. He lied to them. They didn't receive what he basically said. He lied to them. When they ate that fruit, they started to act like the enemy. This is why God came up to them saying, have you eaten from the tree that I told you not to eat from? Because he knew that they was not like him. They were not acting like him. They was hiding, they was lying, and they was blaming. But before that, they weren't doing none of that. But after they ate that fruit, they felt like they was naked, so now they hid. They was the opposite of God, right? So you know that the enemy can't stay away. He can present something, but he won't actually be, or he won't actually stay that way. Why? Because it's not in his spirit. So can you see integrity in this person? When you look at the book of Job, God said, do you not see this man of integrity? This righteous man of integrity? And the enemy was like, he's only like that because you got this hedge of protection around him. And God is like, okay, go ahead and find out then. So what happened is you get to see Job's high integrity that he has. So what is integrity? When you stand on what you said and what you believe. When you keep your principles and your morals. When you stand on them, meaning you ain't falling. Meaning you ain't budging. Meaning the enemy can't present this and then you switch on God. So what happened is the enemy came, right? The enemy came and now Job stayed with God. The enemy came and did all of this. Job got down on his knees, prayed and thanked God. Even when he was in the midst of calamity, in the midst of all of this, he's still thanking God. Not one time did he blame the enemy in that whole book of Job. And it was the enemy who took it and did all of this stuff to him. And he still did not blame. God called Job blameless and said he had integrity. So does this person have integrity, meaning that they won't move or budge from God no matter what comes? Yes, they might get hit with a lot of things. Yes, they may go through things that hurt them, but do they stand on that? Do they have good character? Because I believe integrity and good character go hand in hand. That's why I put it together. They go hand in hand. If you got good character, you got integrity, right? You always tell the truth. You're honest. You do all of these things for people, right? You keep your word. You're kind. You're good. You're gentle. And you stay this way. Yes, of course, we get weak. Yes, we are not perfect. But you're this way more than you are less than that. So you do it more than less. Integrity allows you to stand on this thing, meaning it's going to be hard for you to fall off of it. So does that person have integrity and good character, especially in their relationship with God? Good character, right? Because God, Jesus, has good character. A person who is not God sent, a person who is a counterfeit cannot continuously have good character. They're going to end up lying. They're going to end up manipulating. They're going to end up trying to persuade and do all types of things because they don't have good character. And if they don't have good character, they don't have integrity. Can you see that this person has good character and integrity? This is a godly characteristic. This is a Jesus characteristic. This is how Jesus actually is, y'all. So I believe that's a second sign that we all need to pay attention to, that this person has integrity and has good character, okay? The third sign is gonna be, you can see the fruit of the Spirit in them. Yes, you can see the fruit of the Spirit, y'all. So you can see it in them. And again, we know that people that's in the world, they have these type of characteristics as well. They're able to do these things as well. But again, this person is supposed to be godly. So can you see the fruit of the Spirit producing in them? Can you even see the willingness? Because we're not perfect. So are they willing to be like this? Do you see them practicing? Do you see them trying to be this? Do you see them asking God for the fruit? Do you see them not only being this way to you? Because as I said in another video, I said that fruit is not just for you. That's fruit. So if they got the fruit, that fruit is for everyone else too. So we need to make sure that someone isn't just displaying these things to us. We need to make sure, this is how you see the fruit of the Spirit of God, is that it's being pushed out and displayed to everyone. That means a person is this way. They're not just being this way to you. Can you see the fruit of the Spirit? Can you see Jesus's Spirit inside of this person? Right? Again, it has to be consistent, y'all. Not just that this person just doing it to you, because you could be like, oh, they're this way to me. Oh, they're this way. Oh, she's like this to me. But then you go to the restaurant and they not like that to the waiter. But then you go to their house and they don't do that for their family. But then you go to church and they over here all annoyed. They not ever trying to be patient, understanding. Even when you try to help them, they not none of that. So where did the fruit go? Where did the fruit go? How can that really be fruit? Right? Does an apple tree turn into an orange tree? Or does an apple tree continuously produce apples? Does a banana tree continuously produce bananas? You understand what I'm saying? So you need to make sure it's consistent, and the fruit is not just for you. The best way I believe that you can see if somebody's godly is how they are to others. Why? Because somebody can present themselves to you like the devil can, but they not going to always be that way to everybody else. If they are that way, they're not just that way to you. This is just how they are. God's Spirit, it is his Spirit. So that means this is how you are. This isn't what you just chose to do. This is what you do, not what you chose to do. You don't just turn it on today and turn it off tomorrow. You're consistently trying to be this. You're consistently allowing God to produce this in you. Do you see that person? But you also need to see the fruit being produced. You also need to be able to see that person doing things for God to produce those fruit in them and to produce more fruit in them as well. And do you see them trying to help others with that fruit and to produce that fruit? This can also be revealed. The fruit of the Spirit can also be revealed because this person is not just this way, but they actually help others become this way. Do you see others becoming more like this because of them? All right. So yes, the third sign, you need to see the fruit of the Spirit in their lives, and you need to make sure it's consistent and it's not just towards you. Okay. Sign number 4. This is my favorite sign. This is one of my favorite signs. All right. Conviction. Somebody who is sent from God has conviction, y'all. Let me help y'all understand how important this is. They have conviction. Godly conviction, yes, they have godly conviction. It don't even matter. They got godly conviction and they got personal conviction. They got conviction. That's what matters. Because someone who is prideful, someone who is worldly, someone who does not follow God, someone who is selfish, right? And the world is selfish and prideful, meaning they're less convicted than they are more convicted. They can care less. Now, when it comes to God and just in general towards others, they think more about themselves, right? This is what the world does. The world thinks more about itself. Is this person convicted to the point where you see them dying to themselves, right? Somebody screamed at them and they probably responded badly, because just because you're convicted don't mean that you're not going to respond badly. But they responded badly and they're like, but they responded badly and now they're like, man, I feel bad. I shouldn't have did that. This is killing me. I gotta apologize to that person, man. I shouldn't have did that. That was wrong. God would not want me to do that. And they might even be asking God to forgive them. Lord God, please forgive me for that, man. Like, do you see that in that person? Does that person want to do the right thing, y'all? Because you have to be convicted in your heart. Conviction corrects you. A person who is not able to be corrected is a prideful person. That is not a person sent from God, right? If God told David that was wrong and David just wanted to do whatever he wanted, then he's not convicted. He don't got a heart for God. But guess who was like that? King Saul. He didn't feel bad. Well, he felt bad after David showed him that he wasn't trying to harm him, right? But he wasn't really feeling bad. He consistently kept being prideful, right? He consistently kept being prideful. Who? Jezebel. Queen Jezebel, King Ahab's wife, right? Queen Jezebel, she didn't have no conviction at all. No conviction at all. She could care less about people. That is a person who is not sent from God. A person who does not care about others does not have conviction. A person who cares about other people, a person who thinks about others, A person who denies themselves like Jesus told you to do. A person who sacrifices themselves and their emotions. A person who puts their emotions to the side for someone else has conviction. They are not prideful in this way. They are selfless. Does that person have conviction? And again, just like I just said with the other sign, you can see this with other people, not just you. You need to see, do they have godly conviction? Do they have conviction in general? Before you get into a relationship, somebody has to have conviction. Because if you're with somebody who does not have conviction, they're not going to care about you like that. They're too prideful to think about you. Conviction causes you to think of others. Conviction causes you, when you're wrong, to correct it and now do for the other person. That's what God teaches us. Wouldn't you rather be married to someone who's a convicted person? Wouldn't you rather be married to someone who's going to apologize to you even when they might not be wrong? Even when they might not feel wrong? Because didn't Jesus take the blame? Conviction does that for us too. Conviction dies from itself. I'm going to put this thing to the side for the betterment of this or for that person. You know what? I'd rather her feel loved. I'd rather him feel loved and respected than me to be right. Right? I'd rather apologize and lower my tone than to feel like, well, it don't matter. I wasn't trying to do that. A person who's always thinking about their intention rather than how it caused someone else to be affected does not have conviction. Because if I'm over here like, well, this is me, then I don't got conviction. But if I'm over here like, dang, that possibly did affect that person like that, yes, it may be the truth, but maybe I could have did it in a different way. Conviction causes you to think, maybe let me do it in a different way. Maybe that person needs it this way. Let me go apologize. Hey, babe, I apologize about that. Yesterday I did do that, but I didn't know that affected you that way. And it kind of bothered me because I could tell that it was hurting you. And I just want you to know that I truly apologize. And I really didn't mean for that to happen, but it did affect you, and I would never want to hurt you for that. I was not trying to hurt you. So I truly apologize. Is there another way that I can do this? Because I know we do need to communicate, but I know that you may not need me to communicate in this way. You may need it a different way. So is there a better way I could have done it? If there is, please let me know. That's what conviction does. Does that person have conviction? And not even just for you. Do they have conviction to do that to someone else? They might have hurt their brother. Or even if they didn't think that they hurt them, that person might feel hurt by them. Or you can have conviction even when you didn't even hurt somebody. You could just be like, nah, I shouldn't have said that. Or nah, I shouldn't have did that. I probably should have did that another way. Or nah, that probably wasn't the right thing to do. Even if that person is not affected. Or nah, I think God would have wanted me to do it a different way. Conviction, y'all. Conviction causes you to do the right thing. It corrects you when you do the wrong thing, and it helps you to walk in righteousness and to put God first and to think of others. That reveals God sent you, because the devil is not like that, because the enemy is not like that, because selfishness does not do that, because pridefulness does not do that, because sinfulness does not do that. This reveals God. Notice I'm saying this reveals God, which means God sent that person because his spirit is in them. All right. So that was the fourth sign, conviction, y'all. And I usually say conviction is the top one to see. And I do believe that is the top one. But I got another one for y'all. This right here, if you are literally trying to figure out if this person is sent from God for you, right? If this person is truly a godly person, literally, right? The fifth sign is going to be they pull you closer to God. And I know I just talked about them chasing God, but that's different. Right now, you need to see, do they pull you closer to God? Because I know sometimes it might be very hard for people to see this, y'all. But I always tell people, if that person pulls you away from God, they not sent from God. And here's this is how you can see this, y'all. God will never pull you away from him. So he will never send you someone who's going to pull you away from him or not pull you closer to him. Here's a way to see that. The Bible says, for God loved the world that he sent his only begotten son. Hold up, let's go back. Sent, that he sent. Who did he send? He sent someone like him to pull you where? Closer to him. To reveal what? More of him, right? So that he can be inside of you, so that you can live a life towards God, so that you can walk in righteousness, so that you can be saved, so that your life can be changed. The Bible shows us that God sends, when he sends someone to us, he didn't send anyone that's going to pull us away from him. So if God sent someone, then they'll pull you closer to God. Now, how do you see this? Now, I always tell people, I ain't gonna lie. Again, I always tell people, this is why I said I'm doing the one-on-one calls. Again, the description is in the link is in the description, y'all. I'm doing one-on-one calls. I'm gonna help y'all with everything. And also the questions, I got the 100 Kingdom Relationship Questions ebook that's down in the descriptions as well. Also got a free mini ebook, y'all. Y'all can check out the preview questions on that one, and then definitely check out them 100 questions. But how do you see if somebody pulls you closer to God? Now, I was just talking to somebody not too long ago, one of my friends, and I was like, they was, trying to figure out if somebody's godly and all of this and all of that. And I was like, okay, when you think about that person, now that you stop talking to them or now that they're not around, when you think about that person and you think about your relationship with God, or you think about anything with God, can you relate them to it? Huh? Can you think in any type of way that your relationship got stronger with God? Are you more kind? Do you read your Bible more? Huh? Do you know how to understand the Bible more? Do you know how to forgive more? Have you learned to apologize? Have you learned to stop being petty to people? Have you learned to forgive others more? Has this person helped you to be more godly in any type of way? Just because somebody say, oh, I go to church, oh, I got a relationship with God, oh, I read my Bible, but do they ever talk about God? Do they ever help you in situations to become more Christ-like? Do they ever make you or help you think about Christ more in decisions that you make? Not just reading your Bible, but living like Christ, but literally choosing Christ in situations, even when it's hard. Can you think about them in any type of way when it comes to God? Because if you cannot think about them in any type of way when it comes to your relationship with God, they are a distraction. They are not sent from God. Hold up. If they pull you away from God, if you start doing things that are the opposite of God, if y'all talk about things that God wouldn't want you to talk about all the time, if you start doing things, going places, speaking away, acting ways to people that is contrary and the opposite of God, guess what? They pulled you away from God. Guess what? When they come around, do you not think about God? Because somebody that pulls you closer to God, when they come around, when you speak to them, when you even away from them and God comes up, guess what? They come to your mind. When they come into your presence, do you think about God? When you speak to them, do you think about God? That's how you know. But how do you know this, Rudy? Because when Jesus walks in the room, who do you think of? So when other people come in the room, who do you think of? The pastor that you know the most or that you love the most, who do you think of? Your friend that's closest to God, who do you think of? You think of them in some type of way, right? When you need help in doing something that's godly, who do you think of? Do they come to your mind in any type of way? So number one sign is that they pull you closer to God, and you can literally see and think about this person a lot when it comes to God, or in any type of way. They made a great impact or have helped you in some way be closer to God. That's how you can see that somebody is sent from God. Trust what I am saying, y'all. When y'all come to my channel, who y'all think about? Who? You know how many people? And I'm not bragging. This is not me boasting. But this is what I love. And I know this. You get closer to me, you're going to hear something about God. You're going to know something about God, because guess what? This is what I love. This is what I love, and this is who I love. And I want to be closer, so guess who you going to get closer to? Because I'm getting closer to them. Wherever and everywhere, no matter where I'm at, you're going to think about him in some type of way. Even when I ain't even talking about him, you probably going to think about God because I'm there. Because wherever I go, God go. So are they the same way? All right? Again, y'all, the book is down there, man. If y'all want these one-on-one calls, I'm helping as many people as I can, man. Definitely hit the links in the description. The memberships are going to start soon, y'all. And I love y'all. I really hope that this blessed y'all. Please let me know if this blessed y'all in any type of way. If this opened your eyes, please put it in the comments. If this helped you in a great way and you know that it'll help somebody else, y'all, please send it to somebody, y'all, because we got to get the message out. People need to know the truth. And please like up this video, share it, and please subscribe if you are not subscribed, because y'all know I ain't stopping. I love y'all. I love God, man. And I'm going to get it, y'all, when I get it, y'all.